Hey everybody, what's going on? If you're wondering what this video is, it is not going to be a playthrough of New Vegas. However, it is going to be a video just entailing what it is that I had done while I played New Vegas. I know dick all about Fallout as a series. I never played Fallout 3, and I actually got into Fallout when I played New Vegas. I am hoping to go back and play 3 eventually, but I just recently finished New Vegas, and I had a very helpful friend who is an absolute fan of the series, loves Fallout as a game, and really gave me a lot of help into how to level and gave me some tips and things like that. He goes by Hyperion Surge here on YouTube. So I'm just going to show off my Fallout man, essentially. So as you can see, I'm level 30, which is the max in the game without DLC, and I played for about 43 hours. So I finished the game, and I feel like I got my playtime out of it. It was a lot of fun. Really good game in my opinion. A few things here and there. Obviously Bethesda games tend to have a lot of glitches, so I do have a fair number of glitches I ran into, freezing, more or less technical issues and not so much with the actual game itself. One of the glitches I'm actually having right now on this particular file, I don't know why, because I can go back and I can load a different file, but I can't actually press left button to look at my character model, and I can't press the select button to wait, which is a little bit more of a nuisance than, a huge crisis. So I'm just going to show off all of my perks and my stats and things like that in this video, and then hopefully I can load up another file and we can take a look at my character as a whole. So if you look at my stats, I have no limb damage right now, so that's awesome. I'm in full health. I do have a little bit of radiation, which is going to affect some of my my stats. I have my endurance is a little bit less, but other than that, Fallout Man or Fallout Girl, because I am a female character, is in pretty good shape. So, going through some of my skills, we have Special, which is Strength, Perception, Endurance, Charisma, Intelligence, Agility, and Luck, which is the building blocks of your character. A lot of these I increased through perks, which I'm going to get into in a couple of minutes, but a lot of these I chose to cater to my individual sort of gameplay. Strength I increased a little bit, mostly so that I could carry more, because I'm a pack rat and I love to carry like everything and anything that I possibly can. I'm such a hoarder when it comes to games like this, and I'm so bad for it. Perception I didn't really find all that useful. It grants a couple of bonuses, and there was only 1 or 2 quests where it was very useful, but I will say that perception is great when you want to look at your compass for enemies. It makes it so you can perceive enemies better, and you can see them before they actually start coming towards you, which is great. It's a really good skill for this game, so I think perception is very useful in that aspect, but me as a player, I didn't really use it too much. My endurance is usually at 6, but it's down because of radiation. I did a couple upgrades to endurance, mostly so that I have a lot of bonuses to health more than anything else. You get some environmental resistances such as radiation. Not too sure about poison, but you definitely get a bit of a bonus to radiation, which is great. Charisma I didn't find too useful for me personally, just because I chose to level up my skill tree to cater to people's disposition. Intelligence was more or less what I went for as my main special skill through this game, mostly because I used science, repair, and medicine a lot in this game, and you also get more skill points the higher your intelligence is. So I was able to get a lot of my skills to a very high level because I was getting anywhere in between 15 to 18 skills to distribute at every level, which was really great. Agility, I'm not much of a sneak person, so I didn't really upgrade agility all that much. I might have upgraded it once to get a couple more points for VATS, but I didn't overly find it useful. And luck is just luck. Every game kind of has luck, and you get a couple of bonuses to all of your skills, and you get some critical chance. but that's about it, which isn't really useful. I get a lot of critical hits anyways, especially when you level up your weapons. So that's what I had gone for special. Obviously strength and intelligence being the two most important things for me as a player. As for the actual skills themselves, every time you level, you get to put a bunch of your skill points into different skills, and for me, I really focused on the social aspect of the game. So barter's very high because I wanted to get buying and selling prices higher and lower, and things like that, which was very useful. It also allows you to get more caps for quests and things like that, so barter came in handy. I didn't find it necessary to level it up too high, but I thought 70 was a good point. Energy weapons, I actually didn't use energy weapons throughout half of the game, and then I kind of switched over halfway through, and I love energy weapons. I prefer them way more over guns. So my energy weapons are at 70. I really love the incinerator, and I really like the laser weapons. Explosives I didn't really touch in this game. I just find them a little bit risky with having companions and things like that. So I only really used a couple of plasma grenades at the end of the game to help me with the final battle, but that was about it. So explosives weren't really for me, but they do have really cool things in this game. They have mines, they've got grenades, they've got missile launchers, and a bunch of really cool, fun type explodey weapons. Guns is in the middle. It's at 50 because I go in between energy weapons and guns. If I run out of ammo for energy weapons, or there's an enemy I'm fighting that's better against guns than they are against energy weapons, then I'll switch over to guns. So I use guns as a backup, but I didn't go as far in the tree as I could have. Lockpick, I went all the way to 100 because I knew I'd never have to worry about a lock, I'd never have to worry about a safe or any of that. Of course, there's some doors in the game I can't open, but lockpick I leveled up to 100 and I don't regret it. Medicine I used quite a bit. I used it for some quests, but I also really liked having the perk of being able to heal more with stim packs and having Rad-X and Rad-Away be more effective, because I'm like addicted to stim packs. Melee weapons I'm not too much of a huge fan of either. I didn't really find a lot of really great melee weapons in the game anyways, and I'm much more of a gun person myself, so it's totally up to you, but that just wasn't a skill tree for me, and I didn't really put any sort of points into it. Repair is super useful because you can repair your own weapons and your own apparel if you have the material for it, so you don't have to go to get someone to do it for you, which by the way is very expensive. And there's also several quests in this game, and I mean several. There was a lot of quests where repair was insanely useful, and I'm so glad that I got repair up to where I did, because I would have been in a lot of trouble if I didn't. Repair and science are two skills that I really would highly recommend to any player, just because it gets you out of mostly just quests. It's insanely useful. Science, you can hack terminals. They're also really good if you're using energy weapons, and again, just huge on the quests. So I almost got my science to 100, but I think I only needed it for one quest, and I can really just read a magazine if I need it. Sneak, again, I never went with sneak, although I think it would have been something that I should have put a bit more points into, because you can, mainly just so you can pickpocket people and stealing and things like that, which would have been useful for doing a couple more missions peacefully rather than, you know, killing people and things like that. Speech I got to 100, and for me, speech personally is not only the most useful, but definitely my favorite skill. There is so much in this game that you need speech for. You need it for quests, you need it, like even the final boss battle, you may or may not need speech for. And the outcome of the game, I think, is really highly affected by speech. It's really great. It's, if any skill in this whole skill tree that you can get, speech, 100% all the way. Put as many points as you can into speech and get up to 100, because you will actually, at one point, you may have to use all 100 of your speech points. So Definitely my favorite skill. Survival is usually at 24, but it's down right now because of radiation, which I didn't really care much for. You basically get more hit points restored from food and drink, but I use stim packs, so it wasn't really too useful for me. And unarmed, I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not much of an unarmed sneak type person, and I think those two kind of go hand in hand. I had a companion which absolutely kicked ass with unarmed weapons, and she just went in there and just messed up everybody's day, and I didn't have to worry about my unarmed skill tree. I don't even think I put any points into it at all my entire playthrough, so that's what I did. I focused a lot on relationships with people, like I said, so, buying and selling, talking to them, fixing things for them, and yeah, it helped me a lot. I really think for me personally, what I had picked really worked for me. Onto my perks. Some of these I got through leveling up, and some of them I got just naturally throughout gameplay. Animal control. Black Widow is a really interesting perk. You do 10% more damage to male opponents, and you get access to unique dialogue, which was great in a couple of instances, really made the game a lot more fun. Bug Stomper, Educated, which I picked right away because you get 2 more skill points every time you advance in a level, which is really great. Actually, it's a really good skill to have. Enhanced Sensors is a companion type skill. Explore is unlocking all the locations on your map, which was good for me because I'm directionally challenged. Free Radical, you get enhanced effects from Radaway. Good Natured, which gives you more gain to barter, medicine, repair, speech, and science, which is great for me. This was just for an extra level up at the time. Intense Training allows you to put more things into your special attributes. Lord Death is basically killing a lot of stuff, which should come naturally in a playthrough anyways. Power Armor Training you get through a quest. You can basically wear special armor. Ranger Takedown is a skill, an unarmed skill, which I don't think I ever used. You can get that from a character in the game, by the way. Stealth Girl allows you to be more stealthy, which is a companion type skill. Strong Back is 50 more pounds of equipment. Swift Learner is 10% more experience whenever you earn experience, so it allows you to level up faster, which was great. Tough Guy, basically breaking a lot of limbs makes them stronger. Toughness, 3% to damage threshold, which you can do twice. And Wild Wasteland was a perk that I had picked at the beginning of the game that I was actually extremely disappointed with. There's supposed to be a couple of bizarre and silly type things that go on, but I didn't really see any of that. The game was pretty normal for me, and it was kind of a wasted perk, honestly. But it was something I picked at the beginning of the game, so it's not a huge deal. Lastly, I've got all of the factions. So these are all people that you meet in the game. They're groups in the Mojave that have banded together, and you run into all of them in the game, and it's up to you whether you want to help them and things like that. So the Boomers, I'm idolized. Brotherhood of Steel, I wiped off the map. I blew up their bunker, so I'm vilified with them. If they see me, they'll pretty much shoot me on sight. Caesar's Legion, I'm vilified with. Followers of the Apocalypse, I'm liked. Freeside, a smiling troublemaker, which basically means I'm a little mischievous. They don't know what to think about me, but I'm not a bad guy. Good Springs, I'm liked. Great Cons, I'm liked. The NCR, soft-hearted devil, is I've done a lot of good, but I've done a lot of bad, and they're not quite sure what to think about me. Novak, I'm idolized. Powder Gangers, I'm vilified. And the Strip, I'm liked. So when I played, I tried to stay very, very neutral. I was really going with the NCR for most of the game, which then essentially means that Caesar's Legion is automatically going to hate you. But if you're curious on which faction I ended up going with at the end of the game, it was Mr. House, actually. I finished my first playthrough following Mr. House and creating a robotic army, essentially, because I figured that was what was best for New Vegas. So that is pretty much what I have done. You can also see my map. Because I have the Explorer perk, it's got every single location in New Vegas. So this is a huge map. I've visited a lot of these areas. There's a couple places I haven't gone to, but most of the major areas I've done. I've also pretty much done all the quests at this point in the game. So I've completed the game up to this point. I feel very, very well. There's not really anything left for me to do. I have made a couple of saves, key points in the game where I can go back and I can make choices that will affect how I play the game. But other than that, I guess I will load up another file so that we can actually see my file. We can actually see my Fallout girl, because for some reason, if I load this up, it will actually let me see my character model, but in the game I'm playing now it won't. So let's do that. Okay, so after about a gazillion years of loading, I'm on this file, which will actually let me look at my character. Like I said, I have not a clue why it is that it does this, but you can't really see my character model right now because I'm wearing super awesome badass power armor, but I'm going to go ahead and take off my clothes and you'll be able to see my character's model. Mostly just want to show you my awesome hair, because it's really obnoxiously green. But yeah, so that is my Fallout girl. It doesn't really matter what gender you choose, you're always going to be known as Fallout man. But yeah, so that is a look into my Fallout New Vegas character and how I decided to play the game. If you guys want to see more videos like this, then let me know. I can do it for games like Skyrim or Oblivion. And yeah, feel free to leave a comment on how it is you played New Vegas, or even Fallout 3, which I have never played, which I hope to play. I'll just maybe steal it from my roommates and play theirs, because I had a lot of fun with Fallout, and I definitely think the game really deserves a lot of the hype, because I heard nothing but good things about it until I played it, and I really enjoyed it. So anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, see you guys later.